Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of The Life of Clifford Fuggett, episode number 5. Picking back off where we left off of East Town, Denison, Texas, Nelson Street. Just thinking about, as a little boy, Ray White. When I really think about it, that dude is the reason why you see me today. One of the reasons. Grace of God, Ray White. Now you got to remember when I moved in with that family with the Wyatts on Nelson Street. I was a disturbed little boy. I didn't know whether I was going or coming. I was upset some days and happy some days. But Ray White, some people just have that knack for being great. Some people just have it for being great. When I look back on it, he could figure me out. He could help me navigate through my tough days. Some days he would take me and right across the street from where we lived on Nelson Street was a building. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was a school or what it was. But beside that building, it was weeds and woods and stuff. And sometimes Ray White would tell me to get my pellet gun. Now, he know I'd be struggling from the inside out. I guess he could see it. I don't know. Sometimes he was Cliff, go get your gun, which my pellet gun. We get in a car we called Hully or Nelly. I can't remember, Hully or Nelly. We get in that old car, and he said, "Get your gun ready." And we pull around by that school or that building, whatever it was, and it would be rabbits out there. He'd ease up in there with the car. He said, "See them rabbits? Shoot you one up." So I leaned out the window. I didn't never open the door. I just leaned out the window. Pow! Got me a rabbit. We did that a couple of times that day. And then that evening we'd be right behind the house. He'd be cleaning them. He taught me how to clean the rabbit, which, be mindful, the first family that I was with, they hunted a lot also, but I was young. So I didn't really get to participate in a lot of stuff because I was so young. But when I got with Ray, then he began to teach me different type of life. He began to show me the fun in bonding. Even though, don't get me wrong, Carl Ray and I, I love that dude too. Because he was my first father figure. But Ray, he would have certain ways of bonding with me. I don't know. It just came natural for him to be a great person. Uh, Sometimes we would I just be in the backyard with him and some of his friends. Back then it was I want to say George Winbush, Willie Winbush. I think Pinky was back there a time or two. Pinky Winbush. And I'd be back there really just soaking it all in, trying to be a man like Ray Wyatt was. So yeah, he taught me a lot. Ray Wyatt did. I love that dude and I miss him to this day. But however, as time progressed, being a little boy, hard-headed little boy, I started to venture out. Now be mindful. I started making friends all over Denison. Now I'm in East Town. And let me tell you who some of my friends was. The Winbushes, the McFattens, the Thomases, the Butlers, the Mundines are right there at East Town. Me and Myron Butler was right along the same age, so we became pretty tight. But they were all good people. The Kellys, Ronnie Kelly, Joneses, they were all great people, man. I mean, they were great friends. Of course, throughout the years we left Terrell and went to Hughes, left Hughes and went to McDaniel, then left McDaniel and went to the Denison High School. But in going through all of that, I was able to meet my mother's mother and sisters, I think for the first time. I can remember because Ray and Shirley, or Ray and Aunt Shirley, they went to Bonham all the time. When we moved in with them, they would go to Bonham almost every weekend. The Smiths, even though Shirley and Effie were sisters, the Smith, we didn't go to Bonham all the time. We would go doing family gatherings or something like that. We did go, but not as much as the Wyatts went. So I don't know how it came about. I don't know if Ray, because he was good at that, or it could have been Aunt Shirley. I don't know how that came about. But they took us to Bonham one time. And remember, I'm trying to remember this as a little boy. They took us to Bonham one time. We was going down there to Aunt Edna's house. But I think one of them, Ray or Aunt Shirley said, take y'all to visit your grandmother, your mother's mother. My grandmother at that time, from my understanding, Mandy Briggs was her name, but I don't know if she ever married Charlie or were they married. I'm not for sure, but I do know they were together. So they took us down to Bonham on East 5th Street, where Charlie lived at. And when we got down there, I remember, at this time I didn't know who they was. It was two women sitting on the porch. One of them was my grandmother, my mother's mother, Mandy Briggs. and the other one was Charlesetta, my mother's sister, Mandy's other daughter. So for the first time that I laid eyes on my biological grandmother, I also laid eyes on my biological auntie, Charlesetta. When we got out the car, uh, they was sitting on the porch, and we got up there and they was smiling, and you could see the happiness on their face, just like I could feel the love in my heart from them. I could feel the love. They hugged me, and oh man, I think Mandy, she kissed me all on the cheek, and as a little boy, you know how it was with kids, but she hugged me, gave me a big old hug, and Charlesetta gave me a big old hug, and gave Terry a big old hug. And boy, it was a awesome reunion. Now I'm still confused a little bit because, like I said, I thought the Smiths, Corey and Effie Smith, was my biological parents. So now I'm getting to really meet my biological family. I'm talking about my grandmother, my aunties. And I only got to see them a few times because they both passed away. So I always wondered what my relationship with my grandmother Mandy Briggs, my auntie Charlesetta. Wonder what those relationships would have really been like, because from what I remember, it was nothing but love. Nothing but love. Now, my mother had another sister named Charlene. A lady that I honor and still love to this day. She was Aunt Charlene was full of joy. She was always smiling and just so happy. I went down to her house a couple of times, when I was young. Went down there a couple of times and hung out with them. She was married and had two kids. Her oldest daughter was Angie, and her youngest daughter was Tessa, which I'm real close to Tessa to this day. We talk all the time. We hoorah each other all the time right now. That's just my mother's immediate family. When I say that, I'm talking about her mother, her sisters, both her brothers. My mother's brother was Harold Gene Mason and Charles Mason. The first time I met Harold Gene, I think he was in he had his military uniform on. I think he was either in the Army or the National Guards. But I tell you, and then the first time I met Charles, we called him Uncle Tinker. First time I met him, he was an awesome uncle also. Both of my uncles were awesome. They treated me really well. I'm grateful to have such an awesome immediate family. And again, when I say immediate family, I'm talking about my mother's brothers and sisters and her mother, Mandy. And even Charles Lee, whom my grandmother was married to, or I think they were married. He treated me well also. He treated me really good, man. And most of the people that I'm speaking on, all the people that I'm speaking on, Charles Lee, Mandy, Charles Etta, Harold, Jean, and Tinker, they all gone. They all gone on. They gone on to be with the Lord. I didn't get a lot of time with them. I did with my Uncle Tinker. And then my Auntie Charlene, we call her Sha Sha. From the first time I met her to this very day, she has been nothing but awesome. She's the type of auntie that everybody deserves to have. But through it all, my relationship with my mother's immediate family was and still is awesome. I'm grateful. But I'm still young and I'm growing up in Denison, but we're coming to Bonham a lot, so now I'm gathering more and more friends and relatives because we're in Bonham a lot, every weekend almost. But I'm gonna veer off subject just for a minute. Anybody that's in the surrounding areas that knew anything about Carolyn Briggs, my mother, you can go on my Facebook page and get all my contact information, or you can message me. If you know anything about Carolyn Briggs, will y'all please share it with me? Because like I said, I have to live out my love for my mother through you guys that actually knew my mother. So if there's anybody that out there that knows anything that they would like to tell me about my mother, I would appreciate it. Anyway, I'll end there, but when next Sunday we'll fast forward where I moved to Bonham. Thank you guys for tuning in, and all you guys have a blessed day.